I had spent all of my 20s being a commercial male model, walking around with my top off in nightclubs, getting photographed by Dean. And a lot of my self-worth was wrapped up in that. You know, even though I wasn't doing the online thing to the degree that you were, I still was like the guy that was in shape. I was always one of the biggest or one of the leanest amongst my friends. And that gets taken away from you and you think, oh fuck, who am I now? Who am I now when all of the places that I took my self-worth from are gone? Mm-hmm. Well, fuck, like what's left? Because this isn't going to be here forever. I had thought of a quote the other day, which was, your looks are a depreciating asset. Your mind is an appreciating asset. Invest your self-worth appropriately. Like, everybody, no matter whether you think that your sexual market value as a guy is going to peak at 45, like there is going to come a time where you get over the top of that hill and it's going to start descending. Like even fucking David Gandy, right, is going to start descending at some point. You have the opportunity to invest in something which is evergreen, which is going to compound, which is going to benefit the rest of the world. And that's not to say that people that are in shape can't benefit the rest of the world. It's good to be motivational, so on and so forth. But especially for women, I think. There was this story about Polina Porikova, who was a supermodel back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. And she's now 56 and her husband had died. And there was a famous story that came out about her about a year and a half ago. And she was lamenting the fact that as a 56-year-old, she walks into parties and none of the guys look at her anymore because they're all distracted by the 23-year-olds that are in the room. And she was saying, a lot of my self-worth, I feel really terrible and so on and so forth. And it made me sad. It made me sad because I was looking at somebody who was still taking their fundamental sense of self-worth from the way that they looked with, I think, 2 or 3 kids. And it doesn't feel graceful. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like somebody has allowed themselves to get harmony and grace and transcend and include the things that they had before. And also, there's obviously a massive amount of like hubris and hypocrisy here, because when you were 22, you didn't care about the 56-year-old that was in the room that all of the guys looking at you were ignoring to look at.